Right, hello. So we're back with our little project here, and we're gonna try to build it. What are we gonna? Yeah, I guess we can do this one. That's the playground. Okay. Did we use yarn here? Yeah, yarn. Let's see what happens. And then let's go into Sandpack environments. Let's see if we can actually build it. Oh yeah, sorry. So this has a different config. It does not have this this thing, and I guess it only has index. I wonder why they have like multiple inputs. Oh yeah, because it's asynchronously loaded. Okay, so we're gonna do index and static. And then I think we're good. Yeah, and this one, yeah. Okay, let's try again. Oh, wait, did I? Oh, what's the wrong one? There we go. Let's see. Sandpack environments, here we go. So we're not gonna do the console hook, and we're only gonna do the static one. There we go. Let's try that. Include this. I don't think we need this. But this is something else. Could not resolve inject scripts. Oh, I have this alarm that comes on right now, but I'm using my phone for well, I guess we don't need this console hook. Well, we probably need it later. But why is this complaining? Oh, look at that. Am I using the console hook? Oh, we're actually using the console hook. Sorry. Okay, so we need. Ah, it's kind of hard having two projects here. Oh, do I still have? Yeah, nice. So let's bring back that thing, but still only use static. Static. Cool. And then we're going to bring in the console thing. Console hook. Okay, let's just copy that over. Inject scripts, console hook. Yeah, I think that's it. Nice. Though we have, oh yeah, return client or undefined. Okay, so if no client, throw new error. Environment not found. Why are you complaining? Preview fs dispose. That's not true. Clients. That's weird. Why are you saying that? Oh, it says any. That's weird, because this one has... Why does that say any? Okay, import type Sandpack static environment. Oh yeah. The fuck? It's missing the following. Why does it say that? It's missing the following properties. That's not true. Oh, sorry. I think I know why. C extends. No. What the fuck? Why does this become any? And why does it say with an arbitrary type? No, this is not right. Sandpack environment. Why doesn't this typing work? Here it says class, but why even here? Like, why is this any? Is it because of this import? But we have then. Oh, is it because... Oh, okay. Yeah, and then it says it's missing. It says it's missing. Why does it say that it's missing those things? Implements Sandpack file system. Why does it say that? And dispose. It has all of those. Why are you saying this to me? Type of Sandpack static environment is missing the following properties from Sandpack environment. Preview FS. This bothers me. Type Sandpack environment. But this isn't true. Why am I getting this error? The Sandpack static environment implements the interface of Sandpack environment. That's super weird. Oh, I see. Oh, sorry. This is just the class, right? My bad. Let's see. So this isn't the actual thing. Yeah, sorry. So this should be new and then we have options where we have iframe. Yeah, and we don't need, okay. Why are you complaining? Oh yeah, because I said we need to have, oh, I forgot. String or, oh, sorry. String or, we're gonna see what we're gonna do about that shortly. Okay, so now we just have the console log. So now this is client. Oh, and it's still an error. No, now we're fine. Good. My bad. Okay. What are you complaining about now? Oh, is used before being assigned. Isn't that a classic thing? Well, that's not true though. Oh, you know what? We don't have to do this. We can just return the thing. Return. Yeah, and then we can do throw new error environment not found. There we go. Okay, so we were able to build it, and now let's do a yarn link of it. And then we're gonna move over to the, to React Sandpack, Sandpack React, yarn link, Sandpack, CodeSandbox. Oh, I suddenly got a little bit dizzy. What the hell? I stopped taking my coffee, after lunch coffee, for a while. I think it's a good idea. But again, waking up at 5 this morning, it's gonna cause some dips. Sandpack environments. Okay, so now we have Sandpack environments. And now we should be able to play around with like building Sandpack environments, building Sandpack React. Okay, where do we start? So we have these components. We want to, let's look at our playground first, because this is using like the Sandpack provider. So we're gonna drop the preview and the editor. Oh, look at me being horrible. Okay, and that's fine. Sandpack layout is fine. And we're gonna fix these type issues as well, because we're using React 19, so there are some changes there. Okay, so we have Sandpack provider, Sandpack layout, and Sandpack file explorer. So let's go and find them. So we have Sandpack context, and this has the Sandpack provider. So what we need to do, we need to change the props here. And I think we're just gonna type them here for now. And as we talked about, these props are gonna be, well, we're gonna have children, react.react node. And we're gonna allow it to have, is there anything else? Extend Sandpack roots, HTML. Okay. So, because we actually return a div here, or class names provider, style, class name, classes. You know what? I think we're going to be a bit more specific here. So style would be React CSS properties, class name, theme. Let's see. So we have template name, predefined templates, Sandpack. Well, these are the predefined templates, which are Sandbox templates. Yeah, we don't really care about those templates now, do we? Because we are going to use the static thing. Cool. But we're still going to have children. And it was like classes. What the hell is classes? Where's classes coming from? Is that, was it from options? options classes. Yeah, and you have auto reload. And then we have all this like team ID, custom setup, listen. Okay, but let's put classes in there. I just have to understand what they are. Where is it? Sandpack root props? Classes? Where's classes? Oh, it's just a, okay. Fine. Classes. Yeah, this is also kind of like, what does these things mean? Class names provider? What are these classes? Classes, do we have search here? Styling. Theme, options, classes. Okay, so I think these are, yeah, very specific classes that you need to, they should be with SP. Like we should have them typed. Okay, to do these should be typed. Yeah, and you could even argue that we should have like a styling options, but whatever. I just need the thing to run currently. So then we have use files. I guess that's the thing. Sorry. And we don't want to, so here we're like watching. So where's file operations? Okay, that's also interesting. Like we have an effect that's watching file changes, and then, oh yeah, so this is actually, interesting. Okay. Yeah, fs change and fs remove. What about fs add? Okay, so we need two things. We need to create use environment, and we need use files. Initialize Sandpack iframe. Client operations. I wonder what all of that stuff is. We're gonna take a look at that. Oh, I'm so dizzy. Oh. This sucks. Let's try a little bit more, or I might have to drop off. That sucks. I was on the roll. Yeah, but that's what 5 a.m. does to you. Okay, so how are we gonna approach this? We are going to, so we have this Sandpack provider, and I'm kind of curious because we have use files here. So what's the intention here? It's that, okay, so we just use Sandpack. And then file state is like, what's file state? So that's just, yeah, the files, and then active file, visible files. Why is this like template files? Why are they typed? Like this could be anything now. Interesting. Yeah, and then you have file operations. Okay, so we're returning. Oh, we're returning all the file operations. Okay. Oh, operations is like a second thing. Oh, but how does that work then? So file operations, where do you go? Oh, we spread them as well. Okay. So the Sandpack provider just takes these states and spreads them here, which is fine. I guess the thing we want to do is, so maybe we can get away from actually yeah, so the thing that's a bit weird to me is that we need to fire up the client first to be able to use files and stuff. So it does not quite make sense to me that we're actually using these things here. I think we want to first initialize the actual environment, and then we want to start like use files and stuff. Because we don't have the environment yet. How does it actually work? Oh yeah, because we're passing in the files, right? So it's just much faster. That's interesting. Yeah, it's interesting how we're going to solve this in the sense that currently you pass in the original files and everything, and then kind of the preview is the thing that's loading. It's not your files. But now that we're bringing in a VM, your files are going to be loading in the sense that you have to connect to the VM. But again, it's going to load exceptionally fast. Okay. So we have to change this. We have to first load up the actual environment. So yeah. So let's try to separate that. So we're going to say props here. Well, maybe, okay, how should we do this? Should we rather just keep the interface? The only thing we're going to do is we're just going to hard code loading up the static environment and then see if we can get it running. I think that's the most important thing. And then exploring how we're going to do the use files and use client and all of this stuff. Yeah, I just want to take a quick look at the file explorer just to see how it actually uses the files. So it uses Sandpack, active file, files, open file. Yeah, so this is basically changing the state. So I was thinking more like having different providers. So you have like use files, and that holds like files and the state of files and everything. And then you have use preview. And that deals with the preview and everything. But yeah, it's basically just shoving in the files, which is nice. So it should be quite simple. So I think the thing we want to do, because what we can also do then, if we have, if we do like multiple contexts here, is that we can have so we can mount like, so what we could do is how should we do this? So this is Sandpack theme provider. We have children. How would we do this? Hello. No build issues today. They're all solved. I've had a good day. And we've implemented like the static environment and learned a lot about how that static environment works, how the bundler works and everything. Now we're at the point where we're actually gonna use that environment to run the Sandpack React with the file explorer, only the file explorer first, and then we're gonna expand on that. But I'm reflecting on this Sandpack provider is gonna just take like an environment, like the string static, but then it needs to asynchronously mount that thing. And we don't really have anything to show. I'm thinking about the VM as well. It takes a bit of time to connect to a VM compared to but maybe that's just gonna be like a notification kind of thing. I don't like even doing this in React because there's so much state management going on here that will be much better to not do it in React. And then rather because we could just use suspense, for example, while it's loading. But the point, we have to split this up at least. So the Sandpack provider can only be responsible for getting the actual environment. And that environment is a promise. So like the absolute simplest way to deal with that is to have a suspense boundary. So I think we're gonna try that. Yeah, let's try that. But another problem then is we can't like keep calling the environment again and again. There has to be a single promise. I guess we can, like when strict mode runs on a ref, like the ref keeps its reference, right? It doesn't run, well, it doesn't really matter, does it? Yeah, but this is what I'm wondering. I think the preview that, okay, we have to be careful here. because there's a preview here, and I think this preview is actually the thing that holds onto the iframe. So I'm not sure how that works. How does it use Sandpack client? Oh, so it actually gets the iframe. Oh, okay. So it gets the iframe. Ref iframe. Wait. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Oh, this is interesting. So it is actually mounting the whole thing, and then it triggers the environment. Okay, and that's why it has these loading states, I guess. Okay. But what actually fires up the whole thing then? Is it... Oh, maybe that is this thing. Initialize Sandpack iframe. Oh yeah, auto run. But where is... I don't understand this. Create client. Well, wait, where was it? Create client. Create client. Oh my god. Oh, load Sandpack client. Okay. Load Sandpack client. Oh, look at all of this. How are we gonna do this? So what I'm curious, like the thing that bothers me is that there's so much stuff I don't think actually belongs in here. Maybe. Prev environment, file state environment. All of this makes me quite scared. Registered iframes. Bundler state. Yeah, just having that like bundler state and all of this, it doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, no, I think I wanna continue my approach where I really make copies of things and then I kind of just remove everything and then I bring stuff back as I understand what it actually does. But that means our Sandpack provider. Okay, so we're gonna copy this thing. So we're gonna have that copy, and then let's keep these things. Let's see. So that would be children. Yeah, theme. So Sandpack provider props. There's just so much stuff here. Why do we have React HTML attributes of a div element? That's weird to me because we're not really using that. Like, are we? We're just using style and class name. I'm scared. So, oh my god. Okay, so these are the base props. It doesn't matter. So I have a and the question is, at the end of the day, what do we want to achieve? Do we want to use the same interface? It's just the implementation we're changing. Yeah, that's what I said. Okay, so we're going to use the same thing, but we're going to remove all of this. And then we're not going to provide this stuff. What we're going to do is we're going to asynchronously yeah, but the thing is our environment can't actually return. It's going to return the constructor for the environment. Yeah, okay. So we're going to have use environment, and that's going to fire up in like a state of like pending or something. And then what I don't understand is how the hell does the preview get how. So it's kind of like the preview that this is so weird. I'm not sure if it's a good idea. Like that shouldn't drive the whole way this thing works. Like we need an iframe to start the environment, but then we need to render the whole thing. And then the preview is the thing that starts everything, which is super, super weird. It's much better if we rather create an iframe inside the environment, and this preview has to yeah, it's very, very weird that the preview is responsible for firing up everything just because it holds the iframe. It's almost like there's something wrong about this. It's almost like when we think about the environment, like us passing in this iframe, maybe that's actually not the right thing to do. Because this should rather be, maybe this is what the preview should be. It should be, but it's so difficult because the preview is also part of the bundler. So, but I'm okay. Okay, we have to think about this because you can also have multiple previews, as I understand it. I don't understand why, but you can. So a way to think about this is that we don't have the preview when we have the environment. You create the preview from the preview. So there's something called create preview. Or it could be called get preview, and you pass it the iframe. We have to do something about this. Think. Because this whole thing is based on that preview. But but it does state that you can have multiple let's see in the document. Like, I don't know the functionality even engang. That was Norwegian. I'm not sure how that. Yeah, exactly. Multiple previews in the same provider. They will all be connected to the. There's nothing stopping you from running multiple previews in the same provider. They will all be connected to the same state source, but they can, for example, point to different pages of the same application. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so that means, okay, so we need to change the interface here first. Even though we were just going to use the file explorer, this is going to resolve some things. So we're not going to have preview. We're going to have a way to create a preview. Create preview. And it's going to take an iframe element, HTML iframe element, and then that's going to return an actual Sandpack preview. And that Sandpack preview has a dispose. It doesn't need that iframe, but you can dispose of it. Oh, sorry. Void. Okay. So that's what we're going to do instead. Because then we can fire up the environment. We get our file system. The preview component is going to create a preview. And then internally, the environment will control that preview or that set of previews to keep it up to date with the file system. So whenever you write to the file system, it's going to handle all the previews you've created. That makes a lot more sense. Okay, so now we don't have to pass in let's see, static preview should have a dispose. Let's see, constructor, yeah. So we should not pass in. And then we can still pass in bundler URL to the static environment options. That's fine. And also external resources, because this is like cross preview stuff. Dispose of the preview. Okay, so Sandpack static environment, it's actually going to be, let's see. So I think this is actually that's the thing about the static environment. It's just a bunch of previews. So let's rather call it, and even the preview controller is like, yeah. Okay, cool. Let's see. Yeah, and then we're going to pass the file system. We create a single file system, but we're going to pass that file system into each preview. Yeah, this makes sense. Okay, so this static preview takes the actual iframe, and it should also take the fs. So that will be static file system. Let's see, private fs to do fine. Okay, so now we're gonna just move a bunch of stuff. Most of this is gonna be, they're not gonna have that. And let's move this into the constructor. Oh, preview controller. Yeah, create preview controller. This iframe. Configure iframe. Let's pass in the iframe there. And there's not going to be like another preview here. Oh yeah, sorry. So this is going to be private iframe, HTML iframe element. So let's move those two. Let's actually move all of these things. Create preview controller, like all of this stuff. Everything is going to be. Yeah, all of this stuff is going to be actually in the preview. Let's see. Wait, I have a lot of. Let's see. So we're going to pass in configure iframe. That's going to take an actual iframe element now. So this whole string thing, I don't understand. I don't think we need that. Let's just drop that. Cool. And then, oh yeah, and we need these options. We need bundler URL. Do we need anything else? External resources. Okay, let's pass Sandpack static environment options into. Okay, let's make this static preview options. Type static preview options. So this is going to be. Okay, no. Sorry. We'll pass the iframe, we're going to pass the Sandpack environment options, and then that's fine. And these are also going to be private. So that means we have everything we need there to make that thing run. And then we are oh yeah. And then what we're going to do, we're going to watch the file system, and then we're going to run through all the previews. So that will be yeah. So the previews here will be HTML iframe element. Why are you complaining? Oh, did I make it a record? New map, HTML iframe element, static preview. So these are all our previews, and then we're going to do create preview, gives us that thing. Or we're going to pass in a new one, we're going to set it. And then when we dispose of this thing, we're going to dispose of all the previews for each preview dispose. Well, we don't have to do that. That was a bit harsh. Okay. And then we're going to return the preview. Yeah, the thing is, when we dispose of the preview, we should really remove it from. We should really remove it as well from the. Yeah, it's interesting. Like, there's some internal stuff happening, like compile, send bundler message. So all of this is like, most of it is like private. All of it is private. But you should be able to, when you have that preview, you should be able to interact with it. Like you should be able to do some navigation and stuff. So we're gonna allow you to do that, but there are two things. It's that we're watching the file system here, and then so we should really only have one watcher for the file system, and then we debounce, and then we go and compile all the previews. But that's like a public method. While we yeah, I wonder if there should be like a public static preview. Yeah. And then we can make this preview.dispose. And there's another thing. Because if you were to, I think we have to do that. We have to create like public interface for, so we're gonna call this public Sandpack preview. And that's gonna do, we're gonna do that. So we're not gonna make these things private. Things we need to actually call, we're not gonna make them private. So what we're rather gonna do, we're gonna return a public Sandpack preview, and we don't really need to type it, I think. Oh, we do. So let's create that. Yeah, it's almost like we don't really need, let's call it public Sandpack preview. Oh, let's call it Sandpack preview. And then Sandpack preview. But this is the static preview, right? So this is not going to implement this thing. Static Sandpack preview. What we're rather going to do is that we're going to return, where are we? Great preview. We're going to return an actual Sandpack preview, which is going to be dispose. And now we're able to actually delete the thing. It's also going to have like go back, forward, set URL and stuff like that. Okay, so let's just type that for now. So that will be back, forward, cool. Because now we have this internal representation of sorry. So this is going to be Sandpack preview. This is nice because we're going to actually set static preview. Preview is now going to be Sandpack preview, and that's the thing we're going to set and return. So this is going to point to static preview dispose. Cool. So we're basically wrapping an internal implementation of a preview to this common public interface that can be used by Sandpack React. And then we're able to say this the previews for each preview. Okay. Oh, fuck. But now yeah, we need both of them. You know what? We're going to change it again. Sorry. we need to simplify it. So Sandpack preview should have, well, you should be able to dispose of it, but it's also going to have this public interface that we're going to return when we Sandpack preview. Maybe we shouldn't call it, let's call it API. Yeah. And maybe we'll do the same for the, but I'm not sure, like, do we actually need to enforce this? I think what we rather want to do, sorry. I think we want to do this, Sandpack preview, but it's the way I implemented it. That's wrong. So we rather want to say, yeah. Let's just call it API, and that's going to be Sandpack preview. No, but fuck, it's the, god damn it. We also have to be able to dispose of the thing. How should we do this? So it does make sense to me. But if I store the Sandpack preview in my map, then I'm not able to compile, because that's an internal thing. Or maybe I can just say, no, because I need a disposer to also delete it from my map. How do people typically do this? But you can also argue you should never like create it multiple times, right? It's not a getter. You should create it once. Yeah, maybe you should rather throw an error. Yeah. Yeah, okay, we're gonna do that. And then what were we gonna do? Yeah, and then we're actually gonna set the static guy for static Sandpack preview. Static preview. And then we're gonna just return this. Sorry, it's just me going into the dirty details. Okay, so now it works. So, and it makes sense. Like we're saying this, oh, preview, compile. So now whenever we get a file system event, we go through the previews and we ask them to compile. And then when we create a preview, we set it up and we return a public interface to interact with it. Cool, that's what we wanted. And then we'll do the stuff later. So Sandpack, environments, yarn build. Oh yeah. Yeah, we don't pass in the iframe anymore. We just say type, and then we're gonna have some options bound to that type, but let's look at that later. Okay, so back to Sandpack React. Back to Sandpack React. Now we are able to create our environment. So we can create our hook of use environment. Yeah, I wonder what all of this stuff is. Use transpile code. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Like, we're taking a big risk here as well. Like, this strategy might, like this interface we're trying to build might not make sense. We will probably get stuck. But for me, like, there is no other way to approach this, because I have to understand how this thing works, and I don't understand how it works. And this is a best way for me to learn about it. So use environment. Okay, so here we're gonna take in, did I have props there? Oh, Sandpack provider props. Yeah, let's create that file. And again, let's do type props. Do you remember? You do. And then we're gonna have, these are like the base props. And then we're gonna do and type static. Type static, and then files. Well, what are these files based on? Sandpack files. Oh, interesting. Okay, but I think we can call it Sandpack file, or we can say like files. Where's this coming from? Files. Oh, Sandpack files. Sandpack files. Cool, that's fine. Okay, so now we have a way to start a static template with some files. And we can now check the type and do whatever we need to do to get things rolling. But we can do that in use environment. So that's the thing that's going to fire everything up. Yeah. So we're going to have n is use environment. Oh, I didn't implement anything. Export function, use environment. And this is just going to take the type, right? So we can say n type. Do we have that anywhere? Let's just export it for now. Static. Or yeah, we shouldn't do this. We should say static environment. And we should, yeah, but we have to define it here. So export type, static environment, type, static, files, Sandpack files. Yeah, but it's not going to be, why does it keep, for fuck's sake, export type, environment, static environment. Okay, so well, I guess we can say environment. And then use environment. Oh, I typed wrong. Use environment. It's a tricky one to... so I guess we can just pass in props here. What? Cool. And I do want, like, the question is, what's the actual properties you pass in here? So I would prefer having like... Yeah, like we talked about having... so either you pass in an ID and we figure out what environment should be run based on fetching that sandbox, or you pass in a template and some files. Yeah, and based on the template, if it's a static template, then we run the static environment. Yeah, that's how we wanted to do it. I forgot about that. Okay, so maybe we should use the Sandpack provider props. Does that also take like an ID? Root props, files, template, custom setup, theme, team ID. It takes optional files. Well, that's the problem. Like now it doesn't necessarily take... Okay, but environment is definitely wrong. It's more like if you choose a template, we don't want to expose... So I wonder if I should rather just fix these types. We should remove this one at least. Why pass in HTML element? And why are these... Why do we have this generic? And why do we have like Python and Rust here? You can't run that in Sandpack now, can you? How do I get to the front page? Yeah, no, you can't do that. Why do we even have them? Weird. Yeah, why do we have Rust here? That's weird. Oh, maybe that was part of the branch. That could be it. So files... So here we have Sandbox ID. So I think it should be either or, right? Either you have a Sandbox ID or you have a template. And if you have a template, you also have files. Okay, so let's try doing that now. Export type equals. So either... Okay, so you're also going to have some base props, but either you have... Okay, let's move the base props up. So custom setup. Okay. This is so confusing. Extends option Sandpack internal options. Oh, internal options. Classes. Okay. I am I'm a bit confused because some of these options only make sense for enable service worker. Okay, we're gonna remove this one. External resources, that only makes sense if you have a template. I'm not sure why these are split into two. Where are these being used? So you have Sandpack internal props and Sandpack provider props. And then you have Sandpack internal options. So Sandpack internal props, Sandpack root props with options of Sandpack internal options and additional options. What does that mean? What the hell does that mean? What's an internal prop? What are internal options? Are they not used by provider options? Oh, there's a Sandpack. Sandpack internal? What's that being used by? What's this thing? What? Huh? What's Sandpack? Get mode. Console. Counter button. Set console visibility. But that also has a... Oh, is that the actual top level thing? Oh, that's... Oh, okay. So you have Sandpack and Sandpack internal. Oh, Sandpack internal is the actual component. Oh, I see. Oh, where are we? Oh, this was super discouraging. There's so much stuff here. Okay, so Sandpack internal is like the top level Sandpack. So let's just let that be for now. And then what did I do here? So let's change this. But, huh? Sandpack internal options. That's only used by Sandpack. But what about root props? Oh, Sandpack provider props uses Sandpack root props. Okay. Let's try again. So let's make this a type. Oh. And it's gonna have some base things, and then it's gonna have a union. And oh, what the hell? So files and template, they belong together. But if you use Sandbox ID and I guess team ID, I'm not sure what team ID does. Yeah, and custom setup is also So I guess theme is the only thing that's like general. And here you always have team ID and you always have Sandbox ID. Custom setup is optional. But I guess you can't have both template and custom setup, right? You choose either or. Yeah, custom setup. Where is it? Oh, you do. Okay, so you can have a template with custom setup. Oh, interesting. Broke. Okay. Okay. So either you pass in a template with some files or you pass in a sandbox ID. Cool. And then sandbox templates. Oh, and these include, oh, interesting. Yeah, VM, oh, template ID. Yeah, but this makes sense. So you have templates that can use a VM. That's fine. Okay, but let's move back to using the actual Sandpack provider props. Oh, what happened now? Oh, but now, okay, yeah. Style class name. Why isn't theme there? What happened? What are you complaining about? An interface. Come on. Oh, yeah. Type equals. That's stupid. Type. I hate interfaces. Like there's certain things you can't do with an interface. Okay, but we want to have style and class name on sandbox provider props. So let's just add that. Style, CSS properties. How did this look like? React CSS properties, class name string. So these are optional, I guess. And then there was also theme. Oh, that should work now. Okay, cool. Finally. So now we have that in place. And now, so you actually use, but if template is just, okay, so it's just key of, and then we use, I guess, a template internally. Okay, so the thing we want to do now is we're going to use a template that requires static. So, key of type of, okay, and then we have sandbox. Yeah, and we have static template. So we can use static. Okay, so we're going to use our environment. Use environment. Oh, environment. Yeah, and then, yeah, what we're going to do here is sandbox provided props. Why doesn't it? What the fuck? Why does it only have that? Why doesn't it have? template and template or sandbox ID. What the fuck? Why the, huh? Why isn't it able to? Why is it only showing these things? That's weird. Why isn't it showing all of them? Why isn't it showing the union? Why are you not showing the union? What the fuck? And now it suddenly doesn't show it? Ugh. That doesn't make any sense. Is it because I'm mixing and mashing so much? Oh, I guess it's because, oh wait, yeah, I guess this doesn't work. Okay, we're gonna do something. Where is the actual Sandpack root, Sandpack internal? Where's the Sandpack props? Sandpack provider props. So we're gonna create two bigger unions here. Yeah, whatever. I don't care about the... So these are the base props. Oh, for fuck's sake. Damn you, ESLint. So this fails, right? Yeah, I think it's because... this is really sucky. Like, I want you to... If you pass a template, it's like... Okay, I think we need to split them up into two different providers. So you have... Either you have... API design. It's tricky. So you can create two different providers. One provider for like an existing sandbox, or you can have a provider for just playing around. But I can't make a union on this stuff. But that it's still weird, right? Because if you choose a VM template, then you can suddenly pass in files. But then we would have to, this is what I don't understand, because then when you open that VM template, we're going to fork that VM template and we're going to write those files. But then if you refresh, you're out of it. You're fucked because now you're just creating another fork. And that's not good. So I don't even understand how that is supposed to work. One thing is being in the playground, because then you can actually like manage sandboxes, but here it's just like it's gone in the sense of the browser, but it's not gone. Like the VM is still there, it can still access it, but if you, and then we can do stuff like, oh, let's just store the ID in local storage, and then when you refresh, it's the same again. But how does this actually work with, like, if I made yo, I guess it doesn't remember that. Where did it actually go? Yes, I think that's kind of the thing that, but maybe that's fine. Yeah, I guess. Okay, but that's like just a mechanism of that template and that environment is to fork it and then write the files to it. So let's imagine that's fine, but we still want to pass in an ID. But maybe I shouldn't worry about that now. Maybe we should just focus on getting the thing running. And then it's a bigger question of, okay, if you pass in an ID, we're actually going to load up that sandbox. And how does that look like? Are they just two different providers? Or how would you type that? Oh, I'm stuck on this. I can't get past it. How would this look like? How would this look like? Theme light template react. But then what if I want to load an actual sandbox? Yeah, I think it needs to be its own provider. So yeah, we're gonna do a quick thing here. We're just gonna do sandbox props. Yeah, let's just revert all of this. I'm not sure why. Oh, I'm not sure like why it's optional to have files and template. Like, does it default to a template with some default files maybe? Yeah, I guess so. Okay, sorry. Let's get back to it. Oh, there was one thing. Not root props. Oh, where is it? So we're gonna add style, React CSS properties, and class name string. Okay, now I'm happy, I think. Yeah, now I'm happy. Okay, so the only thing the environment needs is really props template. So the question is, how much should actually the environment do? Should it I think it should only be responsible for getting the environment up and running. So to do that, it needs only the template. That gives it enough information. And then we're gonna have when that environment is running, we are gonna have like a use files or something that's gonna actually like make sure that we have the initial files ready for you and all that stuff. But one thing I'm curious about now is that like everything's like waiting for this environment to run. So to me, it's like template name. Fuck's sake. Oh, Sandpack predefined template. So the thing I would want to do here is really just return, like do a suspense thing. So Sandpack provider actually has a suspense boundary, and then we get the environment. But then you can't see anything in the UI. But then it means that if we have a separate like file handler, that file handler has to take the environment state, and only when the environment is like up and running, it can actually expose an API. So that's also weird. So it would be much simpler if we could just wait for the environment to run. And when it runs, we have like a file system and everything. And the question then becomes, if it's a VM, that async process is going to take more time. And do we really want to block the whole thing during that time? Or do we like want to show, but it doesn't really make sense to show anything in the code editor until you're actually connected and everything's running. Yeah, no, I think we should do that. But the question then is like, how do you... Ugh. How do you actually do that? um, oh, wait a minute. You know what we can do? We can... Oh, this is interesting. Okay, so what we can do, we can... Oh, wait a minute. Oh, this is great. I didn't think of this. So what we can do here, well, I guess maybe this is going to be breaking. Oh, fuck. How are we going to do that? So what we can do is we can actually just expose the promise on the context. And then these other components, they are going to use... So what you would do is you would put your suspense boundary as a child. Like, or we could even put it here, right? Suspense, React suspense, and then children. And then since you're consuming the, you're actually use, like you, when you use environment, like use environment here is the actual promise, but then we expose the promise, and then when you use Sandpack, that's going to use the use hook, and then it will throw to the suspense boundary if it's not ready yet. That's a nice way to do it. And then we could even... yeah, but that's fine. Like we can have a default... we can have a default suspense boundary. And then if you want to have your own suspense boundary around your custom components, having your own loading state, you can just add that as one of the children. Okay, so this is going to be the promise of an environment. And that's what this thing does. The only problem is that, well, I guess we can handle that simply by... Yeah, no, this is going to be fine. Okay, cool. I'm pumped. So we're going to have environment ref here. It's kind of confused. So this would be a Sandpack environment. Environment. Can I import stuff now from CodeSandbox? Oh yeah, I guess I need it first as an actual CodeSandbox Sandpack client. So we're gonna do Sandpack environment 0, 1, 0 environments. Where are you? 0, 1, 0. Okay, let's do a yarn on that first. Does that help? Yeah. So now we can say, oh, aren't I exposing the type? Okay, let's close a bunch of stuff here and let's get back. Not the playground, but this comments thing is often up in my face. So we're gonna export from types Sandpack environment. So let's build that Sandpack environments yarn build Sandpack React use environment, Sandpack environment. This is nice. Okay, so we're going to use ref, and we are going to say if no environment ref, we're going to say load environment. And then we're going to say, based on the template. So let's just say static here for now. And why doesn't that work? Oh, no, I have to. It's a promise of a Sandpack environment. Why are you not happy? Oh, it's a promise of a Sandpack environment. You're still not happy. Isn't this the whole point of a ref? Oh, you have to call it use mutable ref? No. What? Wait. What the fuck is up with the ref? Isn't this the whole point of a ref? What is up? What is up? But isn't there like a mutable? Why does it think it's not mutable? Oh. No. What the fuck? Oh, sorry. There we go. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, this is all it's gonna do. It's just gonna create a promise to get the environment. And what's gonna happen now is that the beautiful thing that's gonna happen now, where did it go? Is that here, oh, what are you complaining about? Oh, type undefined. Okay, let's default to equals static. So the beautiful thing that happens now is that this is going to be the Sandpack provider. Is going to be a provider of a Sandpack environment. Oh, sorry. That's not where I was going to. Sandpack environment. Yes. I think. And now that we have that environment, we are able to yeah, no, I like it. Sorry, it's going to be a promise of a Sandpack environment. So now that we have that promise, we can now go in and we can by the way, we're going to look at the playground because we have some type issues with wait, editor. Why does Sandpack provider type React element? Oh yeah, I guess it's the children. Sandpack, where's children? No, it's, oh yeah, React node. So that should be fixed when we actually build it. But I'm liking this. And now what we can do is in the file explorer, we can now just use use Sandpack. And that means that we're going to get, yeah, so we need to, let's see, where's the actual use Sandpack? Is this Sandpack React context? No. Where's the actual, oh, there it is, Sandpack React context. Okay. So use Sandpack now. What we're going to do is we're going to use the React context. Oh, don't we have it? Oh, which version of React are we using? React. Oh, we support way down there. I think we need to do this. Let's see, React, and then which version of React are we running here? Which version of React is installed? And why doesn't it have? Oh my God, where is this coming from? Where is it installing React from? R React. Which version is this? Oh, 18.2. Why? Why doesn't it have the use hook? Doesn't, Is this React 19 feature? Oh, don't tell me it's that. React 18 use hook. That's React 19. Use hook. Yeah. But why can't I? Oh, maybe it's the types. That's, let's see, what types do I have? Add types. React. Which version is this? Okay, is it because it's experimental? Okay, but let's just use it. It's there. Let's ignore whatever. Okay, so now we have use Sandpack. Yeah, what's all these comments about? We're not gonna have Sandpack state or anything like that. We're just gonna have the environment, which is gonna, what are we gonna do? Hello. Sandpack environment, sorry. And then we're not gonna have these things. We're just gonna, yeah, whatever. Let's just call it Sandpack. Yeah, that kind of worries me a little bit. but the use hook did work in React 18. So that's actually fine. Use hook not typed in React 18. Yeah, it's kind of hard. Like use is such a weird name for for a hook. Yes. Yeah, and I guess we can do this instead. Cool. And then we'll move that thing down there. Can I do expect error? Whatever. Cool. So now we have Sandpack available, which means that when we go back to our... So that's the thing that worries me a bit now, is that what does all of these other things need? Do they use... No, it's use state. This doesn't use anything from class names, provider. Yeah, exactly. So now we should be able to just use, since we're mounting the file explorer, we can go in here and we can start using yeah, so there's probably things here that I'm not thinking about. For example, things like active file. There's some shared state here I'm not taking into account, I think. So like when do we have, oh, Sandpack. Layout overview. Yeah, like here you're flipping between files, but what is this thing? Is that... So if I have the file explorer, I probably... Components. Do we have the file explorer here? So much cool stuff. Can you show me the file explorer? File explorer. File. There. File explorer. There we have it. So yeah, exactly. So when I flip, yeah. So when I click these things, this thing reacts, right? So it's not only the file explorer. So at least the concept of an active file needs to be available. But I think it would be better to just like, how do I close them again? I can't. Interesting. Yeah. So there needs to be some shared state, but that can be its own thing, I think. Okay, but we're just gonna keep exploring this. So use Sandpack. So this thing is now responsible for actually FS, right? Now we have the file system. Now the interesting thing is, okay, so based on the, okay, this is going to be interesting. So since everything's async now, that's a huge problem. So what we have to do, so ordered files is, okay. So we're going to do something simple. We're going to pass in active file. That can be, doesn't have to be there, does it? Oh, it has to be there. Okay. So we're going to do two things. We're going to, when the environment is firing up, we're going to, based on the template selected, we're going to write the initial files to the file system. So those files are actually ready. And what we're also going to do is go in here and we're going to say const files set files equals use state. So this starts out as empty, and this is going to be Sandpack bundler files. Yeah, because this shared state needs to be like active file. I need to have some, the options coming in needs to be available there, stuff like that. So that we're going to make that available. But what we need to do here, we need to use an effect. Annoys me that it's actually, and then Sandpack fs read there. Yeah, so we basically have to go through this async process of reading, well, reading all the directories and then building up this object of Sandpack bundler files. I do wonder though, how does it know? Because it can be active, read only, and it has the code. But we don't really care about that here. Like we just care about, why does the module list want, the module list doesn't really care about the code or anything. Get icon file name, like it just cares about the name. So you could argue that this doesn't even take this does not even take any information about the file. This is just all the files. So you could even argue it's not even, like it's just an array of files. Okay. could you implement a function that recursively uses Sandpack fs reader, which is async, to build up an array of all file paths. Read directory, then file paths. Yeah, whatever. That's fine. And then, yeah, I guess we can just sort them. That should be fine. And then, yeah, we don't really have active file. Let's just do this. And then we can say files, open visible files. Is this, yeah, empty array. Okay, but now we're gonna say module list actually takes files as a string list because it doesn't care about the contents of the files. From props to modules. And this is oh, so this takes, oh yeah, if it should be, oh, I see now. Okay, I guess we shouldn't change this. How are we going to do that? Oh, we can do this. So I guess, okay. So we are gonna use this. What was it called? Sandpack bundler files. Sandpack bundler files. So it's gonna use the options to like populate these entries. So what we're gonna return here, result. What the fudge are we gonna do? Why do we have sub entries? Oh, if no error, it's a directory. Interesting. What are we doing? We are gonna make it. Okay, so I guess what we can do here at the end is really, yeah, sort them and then do that reduce thing. Reduce. No, what are you doing? Return ACC file path equals. So this is gonna be a Sandpack bundler files. This is gonna look like shit, but okay. Oh, what are you? Oh yeah, code. Is that all it needs? Are all the other optional? Oh, interesting. Yeah, so what's interesting here is that we don't this active thing is like, yeah, we're gonna play with that later. Okay, cool. So in theory now it should work if we, let's try to build it first, see if we get any errors. We do. Oh yeah. I'm very curious what it uses the transpile code for. How we're gonna solve things like that. But anyways, how are we gonna get past these errors? I think we're gonna change. We're gonna revert use Sandpack, and then we're gonna, yeah, and then we're gonna have use environment instead. Dag nugget. React. Yeah, we're gonna change things a little bit. So what did this used to look like? This used to be Sandpack context. Okay. Yeah. So we're gonna keep that as Sandpack context. And then, yeah, and then use environment is actually gonna be the thing we implement. And then we're gonna rather do this. I'm gonna move that. So this is not gonna, let's see how we're gonna do this. Thinking. And then Sandpack context, we're actually just gonna do this. Sandpack environment, load environment. I'm not gonna return it. We're only gonna expose it on the actual context. And then use environment is gonna be the thing that actually yes, and then we're just gonna say use Sandpack as Sandpack React context. Yeah, like that. And then use environment is the thing we're actually gonna use. And this is gonna return any, well, no. Oh yeah. As type of Sandpack. And then, oh, is this gonna be null again? Yeah, and then this is now gonna be Sandpack environment, or a promise of a Sandpack environment. Cool. And then hopefully we can build more easily. And then we're going to use environment instead inside. There we go. Where is our file explorer? So this is going to use environment env. Oh. So this is going to be as okay, let's just as Sandpack environment. Subentries. Are you happy now? Ooh, it's happy. Cool. And I guess if we go to, I think we need more terminals. I need more terminals, but I don't want these. Can I like plus? There we go. So if I go to playground now, do yarn dev. By the way, this one is actually, yeah, that's better. Oh, no, that's not better. Oh, does it move the whole thing? Oh, for fuck's sake. Yarn dev server. What? Oh, source.n. Huh? Now I don't understand. Isn't that how you do it? Source.n. For fuck's sake. And why isn't that how you source.n ls? I just had to make sure that you weren't looking at source.n yarn dev server. How do I do that? How do I use source and n file to export n variables? Ah, for fuck's sake. Why didn't that work? Tells the current shell to read and execute commands from the file in the current environment. Oh, I have to export. I guess that's the issue. Excuse me. Doop. Where are we at? Hello. .env. There you are. Export. I guess that's what I was missing. Let's see, I'm just gonna... Doesn't work! Why doesn't it work? It's not working. Oh, that's... echo CSP API key. It's there. Why does it say that it's not? Is it because I'm running it with Yarn? Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, there you can see it. Oh, fuck. Do I have to go and... Oh, god damn it. Sorry, I have to go and delete it. For fuck's sake. I'm so not like a hacker. Where is it? Sandpack. Sandpack dev. How do I delete it? Update API token. Successfully updated. To what? How do I copy it? Oh, revoke, remove. Let's just create another one. Sandpack dev. Allow me to do everything. Create API token, copy. Again, back to env. And the weird thing is, like, when I echoed it, it was there in the terminal. So it's definitely there. I just don't understand. Why isn't it working? Source.env. Echo CSP key. It's there. And if I do yarn dev server, it says it's not there. Why the fuck does it say it's not there? Why? Is it because when I do... Oh, I think I know why. I actually have to put it in the... Do I have to do that? That shouldn't matter. Is it because it's Vite node? Okay, I'm gonna put you back on my screen. Oh, for fuck's sake! Ah! You know what? I'm not gonna put you back on my screen until I fix this. This is stupid. Ah. Okay, that's the key. I'm sourcing the hell out of that thing. Yarn dev server. And it's not working. Vite node not picking up env variables. Is it because it's using the Vite config? Vite node. Respect Vite config. Programmatic usage, debugging, this environment. Okay, I'm gonna just try running it manually with the fucking API key. I can't believe this. Why is this so... Everything's so difficult. Yarn dev server. That doesn't work either. Why? Why? Vite config. Oh, I think it's because I'm shimming process env. Ah, I didn't do that before. For fuck's sake. But I don't want to expose the actual API key to... That's stupid. That's so stupid. Can I override it? That's so stupid. Options, depths, inline. So I have to... My Vite config has to shim process.env or it won't run. Or... I can't believe it. Can I make it ignore the Vite config file? All Vite node server options are supported. I can't believe this. What the fuck am I gonna do? Am I gonna expose the API key? I guess I can. CSB API key. It's just stupid. That's super stupid. Yeah, there it runs. That's stupid. Anyways, I can't believe this. Let's get back to it. Do we have the thing running now? Or localhost? Which localhost was this? 5175. That's the dashboard. And then it's... Wait, did I have to... Oh, yeah. Let's just change that. That's the old one. Come on, editor. Oh, it's interesting how it doesn't... Let's do dashboard. So Sandpack provider. Why is this still... Where is it grabbing this stuff from? Sandpack React dist. Yeah, but provider props here is React node. Why is it complaining? Oh, is it? Oh, okay. It's because this is... Yeah, I'm not sure if it really matters to us, but... Oh, state is not defined. Yeah, no idea what static. Oh, it did show loading though. The requested module static browser server outlib main does not provide an export name preview controller. Okay. Why? What was it called? Preview controller. Well, it does. But I think, okay, so maybe we can double fix this. Because this builds as a... Oh my god. ES build, outer, common.js. Okay. We have to build it for ESM as well. I wonder if things are a bit broken out there. Like, yeah, I'm a little bit confused by this. So, ES build, bundle out there, PNPM build types. That's what we fixed. Lib, or let's call it CJS, and then format, and then we're gonna do and ESM, format ESM. I think this was actually merged into main. Git stash. Git stash pop. Okay, let's try to build it. Yeah. Was this yarn? Oh, this was PNPM. So what do we get there? CJS and ESM. Oh yeah, and then we get the types. Yeah, okay. So let us put the types in actual types folder. Oh, interesting. So that comes in as lib. That's fine. Not sure what this preview thing is. Yeah, whatever. So let's just change package.json to actually reflect these things. And we're going to use Sponsify as inspiration. There we go. Oops. Minimize. I think I actually have a meeting. But I can't. Getting signed out all the time from the calendar. Okay, we're having some planning. I think I'm gonna jump into that session. Yeah, I'm gonna stop the stream. I'm gonna see if I can get this thing running. I guess we have 4 more minutes. Let's see if we can get it running. Let's see. So we have main. So this will be out, and I guess is it actual? No, it's main. Main.js, main.js, main, and this comes from lib, and then this is, wait, sorry, this is from lib, and this is from CJS. I guess we don't really need this thing. We can just say types here. Or no, because now we don't have the required thing. Okay, let's just do this. This is the safest way I know how to do it. And CJS, oh, that's main. Yeah, we have to rename that file, or we're gonna get into trouble. So when we build my God, this is just... And out CJS main.js to out CJS main.cjs. What? Okay, I have to jump into that meeting. So yeah, I'm gonna stop the stream and then we're gonna try more next week, see how far we can get. It's some Easter holiday stuff, so we'll see. But yeah, I'm happy about where we got with this. I think it's quite promising, and just now it's actually being able to like reason about everything. It's very nice. That overwhelming feeling in the beginning is horrible. Anyways, that's it for now. Bye.